poet in the internet age. These two movements formed over the past 5 years are direct investigations to that end. And as different as they are, they've come up with a surprisingly similar set of solutions. Identity, for one, is up for grabs. Why use your own words when you can express yourself just as well by using someone else's? And if your identity is not your own, then sincerity must be tossed out as well. Materiality, too, comes to the fore. The quantity of words seems to have more of a bearing on a poem than what those words mean. Disposability, fluidity, recycling. There's a sense that these words aren't meant to last forever. Today they're glued to a page, but tomorrow they may reemerge as a Facebook meme. Fusing the avant-garde impulses of the last century with the technologies of the present, these strategies propose an expanded field for poetry in the 21st century. The new writing is not bound exclusively between the pages of a book. It continually morphs from the printed page to the web page, from the gallery space to the science lab, from the social spaces of poetry readings to the social spaces of blogs. It's a poetics of flux, celebrating instability and uncertainty. With so much available language, does anyone really need to write anymore? Instead, let's just use what exists. Languages matter. Language as material. How much did you say that paragraph weighed? And yet, because language cannot be divorced from its semantic content, this writing embraces a difficulty quite distinct from what the previous century termed difficult. The work is often wildly political, explicitly sexual, aesthetically troublesome, ethically bothersome, socially questionable. It's been referred to as a waste of paper and dismissed as a lake pull. Yet oftentimes the authors themselves agree. They're disgusted by the sentiments they express and revolted that they would have written such drivel. But when the machine takes control, we passively and happily acquiesce. And yet, for as much as the two movements have in common, they're absolutely different. Flarf plays Dionysus to conceptual writing's Apollo. Flarf uses traditional poetic tropes, taste and subjectivity, and forms, stanza and verse, to turn these conventions inside out. Conceptual writing rarely looks like poetry and uses its own subjectivity to construct a linguistic machine that words may be poured into. It cares little for its outcome. Flarf is hilarious. Conceptual writing is dry. Flarf is the Land O'Lakes butter Indian squaw. Conceptual writing is the government's nutritional label on the box. Flarf is Larry Rivers. Conceptual writing is Andy Warhol. No matter, they're two sides of the same coin. Choose your poison and embrace your guilty pleasure. Just a program note. This is going to be short. You don't want to be stuck here for an hour and a half. We're going to be presenting two sets of 20 minutes each, okay? First session will be 4 conceptual writers. First will be Christian Book, then Kim Rosenfeld, myself, and then finishing up with Darren Werschler, each reading 5 minutes. And there will be no intermission. Then Flarf will come on, and in that order, it'll be Gary Sullivan, Sharon Mesmer, Kayslan Mohammed, and Nada Gordon. So thank you very much for coming.